the strange. Natural and unexplained phenomena. Spiritual activity. Cryptids.
The future and the past.
Conspiracies. Beliefs and ancient remains. The radio program for you, the listener, in bringing your stories and concerns to the table. And now your host, Dave Cruz.
Good evening, everybody. What is going on? How's your guys' Sunday night going? Oh, man. What a week. I say that every Sunday night, but it's true. But it's Sunday night, and we're here to be strange. Everybody, I'm Dave Cruz. I'm the host. This is Beyond the Strange. We have a good show for you tonight. We're doing a bit of review in the BS department, and you'll understand that in a bit. But first, I'd like to welcome our wonderful co-host, LJ3, Les Johnson III. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. I've had a great day so far. And how are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing better. I've been stressing out a little bit. You know, we talked about it, but things are going good. And after tomorrow, I should be relieved of a lot of that stress.
Oh, let's all hope. Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, dude, it's been one of those weeks, and yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good after tomorrow. So I'll be looking forward to that. But well, we have a really good show tonight. It's going to be a little bit lighter spirited. Not going to take things so serious. You know, we are going to look at a lot of things, and I want to mention this to everybody. You know, this is our opinion. You know, our views. You know, please take it with a grain of salt, if you will, and always do your research on the subjects that we talk about, because you know, we bring you the information. You guys decide for it. You know, we want you to believe. But if you need to do more research, please, by all means, do that. Don't take our word in stone. It's there just to make you guys think. But anyways, we are live here on Google Hangouts. We're streaming from YouTube, and we are streaming at Spreaker. You can go to Spreaker.com and search for Beyond the Strange. You can also follow us on Twitter at Strange Days 2015. The hashtag is hashtag BeStrange with the letter B and then the word strange after that. We also have links to the show there. We also have a Beyond the Strange Facebook page where most of our show's info and updates are. There is a Google Plus Beyond the Strange profile, and our email is beyondthestrange@gmail.com. Also, you can go to the Beyond the Strange website. We are working to keep you up to date with the past and present shows. Go to beyondthestrange.com for that. And finally, you can join the show with your Gmail account or call in on Skype. The ID is Strange Days 2015. You can also call in for a Q&A with our guest or our panel show. That number is 707-200-3520. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to Disclosure Now and UFO Independent on Facebook. And at this time, I would love to bring in a special guest tonight. You all know him. He's Fate or Not Family, and he's also a researcher and investigator. Help me please welcome Mr. Rick Sennett. Rick,
Hello.
how's it going?
It's going pretty well. Have the in-laws in town from New York. Did a little bit of early Christmas presents today, and lo and behold, I have 2 tickets to see Joe Satriani. So,
oh my God, I hate you.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm doing really good.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
I'm thrilled. I've been a Satriani fan since I was about like 12 or 13. I remember when Joe had hair.
No comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That goes way back. And was it Surfing with the Alien you first heard, or was it his Not of This Earth?
No, actually, it was Surfing with the Alien.
Okay.
Because when Not of This Earth came out, that mostly had a local distribution. And at the time, it was because we moved around a lot. I wasn't living up in the Bay Area at the time. I was actually down in lovely Fresno.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, denote the sarcasm. And plus also being so young, it wasn't like I was able to go out and check out clubs in San Francisco. I remember when Joe Satriani was the guitar player for this band called The Squares.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and it didn't really click. The only reason I knew about that was my dad was talking about him. He's a big music buff as well. He's the one that got me into music, and we'll trade. He got me into Nine Inch Nails. I got him into Muse, and so we trade. I mean, even to this day, here he is, 63, and we still trade. Music groups. Have you heard of these guys? No. Have you heard of these guys? So yeah, we have a good rapport in that way.
That's cool. Yeah, I like Muse too, man. Muse is like one of those bands also that are heavily into the UFO and paranormal conspiracy, I believe. Yeah. And a lot of their music is based around that. But yeah, I dig Muse and I love Satriani. I saw Satriani way back in the day too, and I saw him with at the time he opened for Steve Miller of all.
Oh wow,
that was an awesome concert. It was a New Year's Eve concert, man. It was really sick, and Satriani came out on stage later on and played with Steve Miller, and it was just freaking awesome, dude. I loved it. One of
the best Satriani concerts I got to go to was with Eric Johnson opening.
Oh, man, yeah.
Off of the Via Musicom tour.
Mm-hmm.
Because Satriani's doing Flying in the Blue Dream, and Eric Johnson was promoting a Via Musicom. So I mean, it was just that was just freaking insane. It was nuts.
Oh man, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Great.
But
cool.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna love it. And tonight we have a good show. We are gonna go beyond. Let's see if I can bring this up right. Beyond the bullshit. There you go, Les. We were talking about that all day today.
I'm sorry, I'll mute myself.
I think reverb changed radio forever. Because I mean, you can do so much just by putting something into a reverb tank. It's great.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, we definitely got some good stuff for tonight. And like I told the audience tonight earlier that these are just our views and opinions. If they want to, they can take the research further and do their own investigating. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Ever since I started the show is looking into more of the stuff that I've been listening to on different shows like Coast and I just tuning in to listen to Jimmy on FTV, man, has made me smarter. But it's something that we all need to do, and we should all just do that. But we are going to be talking about a few things, and one of those things I want to talk about is the Mars pics. And this has been bugging me for a while. You guys know what I'm talking about. All the pictures of Mars. Everyone.
The Mars rat.
Right. Yeah. Sending back pictures of spoons and Elvis and
Hashtag spoon.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There you go. And just sending back a bunch of pictures of Virgin Mary. I mean, I don't know, man. Probably Jesus Christ too. But it just seems like everything is on Mars right now, and it's killing me. What do you guys think? Les, what's your take on that? You can go ahead first.
Well, okay. Well, I do know, someone we happen to know and love, made a catchphrase with one particular pick, and that happens to be spoon. Whereas I respect the man and I love the man, that is one picture. I'm sorry, it's that just happens to be. It may look like a spoon, but it's rock. As far as like the ones with the squirrel, that's where we can get into beyond the BS, because there's been a lot of people that think there's an island off the Canadian coast that NASA uses both for they put people there, and they put up camps where people will live there for a year, 6 months, in a sealed environment. And a lot of people also seem to think that there might be rovers there. The twins or the sister rovers might be there, and they might have accidentally taken a picture of a squirrel. Point is that we really don't know. There's a lot of things out there that a lot of people believe that we've got bases on the moon with the secret space program, but then again, there's also the people who don't believe that, and we'll get into this later, that we've never even been to the moon. So where I am, some things really do look like what people think and say they are. Like the reclined God-looking person on the that's shaped into the rock. Picture number 9 from Art Bell fame. But do we really know if that's taken somewhere in the Arizona desert, or the place in the island off Canada? It looks exactly like Mars. I don't know. Rick, I'll leave the rest up to you, brother.
Yeah, that came out earlier in Facebook about the Canada picture. Is it Canada, Rick?
Yeah, Allison linked it.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's a island off the Canadian tundra, where it's a desert island, and there's one particular type of rodent that looks kind of like a gopher, and it's only found on that particular island, and so it's fairly specific. And I'm pulling up stuff right now. If anybody wants to Google Mars rat, you'll see a lot of pictures. The original picture is actually pretty huge, and so you really have to zoom in on one. I guess there's people out there that are going over every single inch of these photos and blowing them up 600% to find any whatever, apparently gophers and varmints and whatnot. But looking at it is, if it's not photoshopped or anything like that, it's not like the spoon, it's not like the picture where it looks like a dude in a ghillie suit coming down the side of the hill. I know everybody pretty much knows the one I'm talking about if they're listening. If they're listening to the show, they know the one I'm talking about. But I'm looking at the picture now, and it's straight up, it's a gopher. I mean,
oh, wow.
It's just, there's really no pareidolia, and it's been photoshopped, because we all know out there are people that just want to hoax stuff. Recently had a visit from my father-in-law, who doesn't believe in anything, And he said that he always thought it'd be great to come up with some creature and to hoax it and make a bunch of money off of it. And so you have people of like mind that just want to hoax something, make a hate to tell people there's not that much money in hoaxing, believe it or not. Well, unless you're Rick Dyer, but we'll save that one later. But
no during name drops.
You know, yeah. So I'm looking at these various pictures, and it's straight up, it's a freaking gopher. I don't know. Do you and Les have that up? And tell me what you think, because I mean, it looks like, you know, it's like Caddyshack on Mars. It's a gopher. You know?
Wow, that's funny. Hey, is there any way you can put the link in the hashtag #BeStrange in Twitter, Rick? Or if you want to, go ahead and put it here on the sidebar, and we'll, you know, the chat sidebar here on.
If you put it in the chat sidebar, I'll send it out for you.
And Hangouts.
Okay.
And for those of you guys who want to come in on Hangouts, we'll start sending out invites after the first break. We just want to get it rolling, and then we'll definitely start getting rolling.
While Rick is doing that, I just wanted to do quick shout-outs for everybody. Hello, Kat. Hello, Michelle. Yeah. Hello, Serlana. Hello, Space Boy. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Lauren. Lauren, nice to meet you. And, of course, Dave's in there with us. Casper. Hi, Karen. And then, of course, all the people that are on Twitter right now. Let's take a look here. If I could, Dennis, of course. Thank you, Dennis. You're the man. The graphic is actually out on the #BeStrange hashtag right now. And you know, Goddess Central, of course, Michelle. She's in both places. All right. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. I just wanted to say hi.
I appreciate that, Les. Yeah, working the controls and, you know, Spreaker and Twitter and everything else, and yeah, it's all fun. But thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, hello everyone. We're glad you guys made it, and I like the Spreaker chat.
I do too.
When I'm listening to a show, of course, but when you're hosting, it's a little bit harder. But yeah, it's really nice. Gene just made it. Hey, what's up, Gunny? Boom! You just made it. So yeah, we'll definitely we'll get the invites after the first break, and we'll have a lot more you guys, you know, in the show. And we'll start talking about all kinds of things. But yeah, you know, the Mars thing, okay. it really drove me crazy. What's up, Rick?
I was going to say I posted a link to the Google search that I did for images. It's up on my Google+. What's really funny, IT manager, but I suck at social media because, well, I'm not social. So if anybody goes to Google+ and finds me, I have the link right there. Can you find that, Les? Yeah. Am I kind of sucking at life right now?
That's all right, man. It's all good.
Sorry, I was muted out. I was, you know, doing my thing on Twitter real quick. But no, I can't get it there. But that's okay. I'll take care of it. I'm going to go get the link right now and shoot it out on Twitter for you.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you.
And we'll try to get those links out to you guys as the show goes along. Mainly probably in the hashtag #BeStrange column if you have TweetDeck. If you don't have TweetDeck and you got Twitter, you're really missing out. I mean, ever since, you know, Dale Romero introduced that to Fade to Black, I went out and got it right away, and I'll tell you what, I've been using it ever since. I can't stand Twitter without it. So definitely get TweetDeck, get your hashtag #BeStrange along with your hashtag FTB, and you won't miss a thing. It'll be all good. But yeah, dude, I get what you're saying about the gopher and about other images, but what does it mean? I mean, what does it mean when we're seeing these images and yet NASA is, I mean, they're claiming that, you know, the images are from Mars are authentic. You know, it kind of makes you think, don't it?
Well, if these are authentic, excuse me, sorry about that. If these images are actual images from where the rover's at, it can mean one of three things. Everybody is seeing something that's not there, which is possible. Another thing it could be is they're faking it, and it's actually, on Earth for whatever political, chest-thumping reasons they may have for that. Or that it's actually on Mars, it's taking photos, and there is life on Mars, and they're trying to be in denial about it. But either way, if these pictures are accurate and there actually is something there that's alive and breathing and scurrying about, they're lying about something. Either they're lying about where the rover's at, or they're lying about life on Mars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Les, what do you think? What's your final thought?
If people do want to check out the squirrel pic on Mars, I just sent it out to Twitter. I can't send it, unfortunately, to Spreaker chat, but that's the nature of the beast. I'll try to get the link in just a minute and send it there if I can. My final answer, truth is, I don't know, and I don't think any of us really know. I just think, and it's, you know what? Point is I don't know. I'd really like to know, and that's a problem with a lot of the things that we all quote unquote believe in. We don't know. I do think, because if you take a look at it right now, it's on Twitter under #BeStrange. It looks like a squirrel. So either that was taken on Earth, or if that was truly taken on Mars, there's something they're not telling us. Period.
Well, there is one picture that's a little more questionable, and that's the silhouette of the man on Mars, the silhouette of the guy with the rover. And I've looked at it, and I've torn that thing apart I don't know how many times. And looking at it, I can see where it could be an armature. I can definitely see where it can be the armature of the rover. The one thing I can't figure out is what part of the armature could cast a shadow that looks like hair on the top of a head. That's the one thing I can't figure out on the rover is, because I'm looking at it right now, and, at a glance, it looks like a dude picking up a jug of, water off the back of the rover. That's what it looks like at a glance. There's a couple of things where I can see where it's like, okay, that part, there's like a little split, so that wouldn't actually be the guy's head, so I can see what, but it looks like there's hair on top of a head, and that's what's kind of throwing me off, is what part of the armature looks like hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, interesting. It'd be nice to get some more of those pics up. We can do that much later, and
I'm on it right now, my brother. I'm on it.
Oh, there you go. Les to the rescue. It's all good. But there's so many pictures out there, Rick and Les, that make you just think about whether or not NASA is really telling us the truth, or if they're lying to us. NASA's not always saying that these are all, these are from the rover or from Mars, but these pictures just keep coming out, and it's getting ridiculous. So that's why I had to call, it was part of the Beyond the Bullshit. So there you go. Anyways, I'll probably be doing that a lot, guys. If it gets on your nerves, let me know. But it's definitely beyond the bullshit. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before we get into our next topic? Because we can get into the next topic, but we got like 5 minutes to break, so I don't.
Okay.
And it's a good one too. So.
Well, just to go in defense of the rover, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, there's this light off in the distance. Why didn't they go look at that?" And what people don't realize about the rover is it only has a certain amount of charge. Because it basically is electric. It's got a limited amount of charge, and the speed that rover travels at is like, I think we did the math on it at Shift, and it's like maybe a quarter of a mile per hour. It takes it a full day to go 1 mile, and not just like an 8-hour shift work day. We're talking a 24-hour period. That's how long it takes it to go like a mile. And you got to figure how long is it dark, nighttime. It has to shut down during night to say, conserve its batteries and all that. So, have some sympathy for the poor rover. He's going as fast as he can. Seriously, there are people on rascal scooters that can do laps around this rover going full tilt. So, you see a light off in the distance. Oh, well, let me change direction, and in about 2 years, I can get to where this light was at, and whatever's creating that light source is already gone, has been gone. So, when you get to that point, you have those limitations, give the rover a break. Think of it as like Wall-E. He's doing his best. He can't go that fast, so he's going to continue with his mission. That's what it comes down to. And that's that's my defense of the rover.
and that's great. That's part of what we want to do tonight too. Is Rick brought that up. We don't want to just call BS on this stuff. We want to also give the flip side, and that's really important. And I think that's very good. Now, our next topic, we've been hearing about it for the last couple of weeks. Everyone knows about it. And, just so you guys know, we're not trying to beat stuff to death, but it's just our take. And the next topic is the Kubrick film that just recently came out.
Perfect segue.
Yeah, the one that everyone is calling, well, not calling BS, but at first, it really, to me, it looked real, and that's kind of why I'm a little PO'd, because
hey, Dave.
I was real. What's up, man?
Dave, you're breaking up there a little bit, pal.
Okay, yeah, I'm hearing that from Rick too, so I'm not sure what's going on, but maybe at the break we'll reset.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and take the break and see if you can't go ahead. We'll take the break a little bit early and see if you can't figure that out.
Okay, no problem. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do that, and we will be back after a short break. Don't go away. This is Beyond the Strange. I am Dave Kuberick. Let's get back in.
Remember what Professor Snidely, myself, always says. It's not the size of your brain that counts. It's the weight. And remember, Beyonders, listen to Beyond the Strange. Sundays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Do you believe in UFOs? Time travel? How about ghosts or Bigfoot? Greetings to all you Beyonders out there. This is Dave Cruz, host of Beyond the Strange. I wanted to personally thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Beyond the Strange is not your typical podcast. We want to hear your stories and experiences. This is the radio program for you, the listener. We bring your stories and concerns to the table. So check us out live every Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, Beyonders believe.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Beyond the Strange. I am your host, Dave C., and with us is Rick Sennett, Les Johnson III, and we are speaking about a lot of topics that we don't really want to call BS, but sometimes it's just a little bit beyond
Beyond the bullshit.
So there you go. Anyways, Les loves that. I really do it for you, man, because I know you get a kick out of it. So I'm going to have to send you the...
I get the giggles, man. I can't help it.
You're going to get a lot of mileage out of that.
I think so. I'm just definitely going to have to... I'm going to have to send him a copy of the MP3. But anyways, we left off, and we were talking about the Kubrick film. And I know, Rick, this is something that's been just burning your britches, and I'd really like to get your take on it.
Well, personally, I mean, this is just me. As soon as I saw it, I called shenanigans, because one, that didn't even look like Kubrick, in my humble opinion. It just didn't look like Kubrick. Didn't sound like Kubrick to me. So I called BS on that. And also the person's interviewing style sometimes would kind of make a shift to coaching as much as actual kind of interview. And it totally messed up the tone of, here you have this famous guy, an award-winning filmmaker, the whole nine yards, loved throughout the world of movies and cinematography, doing this earth-shattering confession that can totally turn things upside down. And what should have happened, and where the guy would have done a better job, is if he would have just shut the hell up and let the camera roll and let the actor act and actually do his job and do it as a confession. And so, I mean, the guy totally screwed up, and it was a hoax. It was a stunt to promote his media production company. Personally, I've seen better hoaxes. Yeah, I am being a judgmental jerk, and I am kind of calling him out. I'm sorry, dude. You did a crap job. It was on par with like an after-school special. I'm done, and boom, mic drop. screw you.
Yeah, I know.
And then when I found the video, the full video, and it showed the whole thing unedited, without the clever. Well, it still had the clever lighting to hide the fact that it wasn't Kubrick, and it did a little bit of that warping that sometimes is common with an iPhone. That was also used to try to hide the fact that it's not Kubrick. Right there, he screwed up, because if it's quote unquote iPhone warping, I'm sorry, but forgive me for being blunt and profane. iPhones didn't fucking exist in 1999, asshole. Figure out how to do a hoax.
What's the name? What's the guy's name again?
Asshole McGee.
Besides that, AKA.
Yeah, it was like
Patrick something.
Yeah, T. Patrick. His first name is Thomas. I forgot like Milligan or something like that. No, Murray. T. Patrick Murray. And the actor is actually, he has his doctorate, and he's a professor of acting. I couldn't find out where he's a professor, but if you go to T. Patrick Murray's YouTube channel, there's even a screen test with this guy that he refers to as Tom. Tom Gainick or something like that, Dr. Gainick. I'll have to double check everything because I don't have it in front of me. And in a spiteful rage, I kind of think I'm trying to forget their names so I can just move on with my life and stop eating Tums.
I still eat Tums.
Yeah, you know, got a little bit of a Dennis Leary rant with this jackhole. And it's not that he did the hoax, it's just that he did such a shitty job of doing it, trying to promote his company. And I'm sorry, you know, you're like, hey, you want to do like a really B-rated, crappy used car sales, you know, commercial? Come over to us. Trust me, we can do a lackluster job. That's, you know, I'm sorry to be an elitist prick, but I am.
No, I understand. Before I get Les's take, I just got one thing to say about that guy. Beyond the bull. Yeah, well, sorry about that. Actually, it was more like beyond the. Okay, never mind. Let's go ahead.
Well, I know which one you were trying to play. Why don't you cue that up for when we bring him up next time? There you go. There you go.
Douchebag.
One more time. One more time, Dave.
Douchebag.
You know, you know, who needs therapy when you have a sound bank?
In triplicate. There you go. One copy to each, to himself, he, himself, and him, or whatever. But yeah, no, I agree with Rick. What's even more ridiculous is the guy is in what does he do, Rick? He does marketing or producing on top of it for videos.
He has some local video production company. So right. Yeah, so like if you know, want to do like a local commercial for like your furniture store or something like that, you know, like, okay, let's put it this way. People from Northern California will know this one. But Cal Worthington and his dog Spot. It's a new and used car dealership back in like the 80s. And the big joke was it was Cal Worthington and his dog Spot, and the animal that was in the commercial was never a dog. It was like, you know, giraffe or, you know, voyeuristic wallaby or something like that. But it's like that, from what I can gather, it's that type of a company where they'll film your local commercial, they'll air on, you know, basic cable.
Well, you know what gets me is the whole way he set this up. He puts it out there to a few really big people. You know, people are literally, especially like the people we know who are involved with it, are foaming at the mouth because the particular people we know and love, you know, doesn't believe that we went to the moon to begin with. And then, you know, we start sending this thing out like crazy so everybody can see it. It starts getting more and more views, and then just right before the show starts, he pulls it. He pulls the video. It was pulled, and it said it was pulled by the owner. But, instantaneously, our conspiratorial minds go, ooh, the government did that.
Well, he was shooting for the people that only read the bold print.
Right.
And never read the fine print or anything that's in italics.
And then on top of that, by then there were enough copies of it that, you could find it somewhere else. But then, and of course, we went on to listen, but by the end of the show, you had already tracked it down. He left the actual video of him doing an interview with the actor.
Dude, okay.
It is that.
Well, here's what's amazing, and here I'm going to let out the big secret of my amazing investigative skills. I tracked all that stuff down because, I first posted, I'm like, yeah, this is bullshit because this isn't Kubrick. And before going to bed, bullshit. Exactly. So I was laying there in bed and just kind of like relaxing and vaping, and stuff like that. My wife was in the bathroom. I'm like, you know what? Okay, let's see what else I can find real quick. So here I am in laying in bed in just my freaking underwear on my iPhone.
That's not what I heard.
This is a children's show. No, no.
Wouldn't go that far.
Well, just in case. But
there might be virgin ears out there, though. Yes.
Yeah. Some. There are enough offensive things that come in my mouth on a daily basis. I got to reel it back sometimes, and I don't want to reflect negatively on anybody that may be involved. So, but the thing is, I'm laying in bed with my iPhone, and I just pop through all this stuff. I'm like, okay, this is this guy's name. Did my searches? Okay, let's see. Okay, this guy owns this company out of St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, this guy. Okay, boom. Okay, he teaches at this particular school. I mean, if I really wanted to dig deeper, I probably could have found his credit score. And I've done it before with certain people who have pissed me off.
Scary.
And I've pulled up rather personal information and then just let it be. But and I can do all this. Yeah, yeah. It's scary when you can pull up people's anything that's public record, bankruptcies, stuff like that. You can pull all that up with Google, Bing, an internet connection, and some way of connecting to the internet. I did it on a cell phone. And that's what is really killing me about these people. They'll see something, they'll latch onto it, they'll believe it wholeheartedly, and they won't go past the bold print. And then you find out that it was some recycled bullshit from 2006.
Exactly.
And that's how I found it. It took me a whole entire 10 minutes laying in bed.
It doesn't take very long. I wanted to welcome our newly people that just came in here on Hangouts. Casper Parks, Allison Bell, and Adam Tarsis. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us in Hangouts.
I also wanted to say hello to Dennis, hello to Brian, who just showed up in Spreaker chat. If I've missed anybody, I apologize. Hello, nice to see you there.
Hello, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Casper, how's it going tonight? If you're there still.
I'm right here. Sorry, I have to jump screens. I got too many screens opened up. So
that's okay, man.
But yeah, I agree. There's just a lot of BS out there, and unfortunately, it takes away from legitimate research.
Yep.
And also, the general public who's not into the kind of stuff that we are is, when something legitimate comes along, they're kind of like, been there, done that, heard it, goodbye, bam, they don't pay attention then. So, unfortunately, that's what happens to that kind of stuff,
Right.
Totally agree, Casper. Adam, welcome to the Hangouts. We appreciate you coming by. Do you have any comments on the Kubrick film, or any of the BS that's out there right now?
Thanks for having me back on. It's always a pleasure to join you guys here and chit chat.
Absolutely, man.
The Kubrick film thing, that was interesting. Quickly shown to be false, which is kind of sad too. I imagine it would be much more awesome, the conversation we'd be having now, had it been the truth.
Right. That's true.
But yeah, I think I agree. People get that explosive bold print headline of an article, and they're already latching onto it. It's become their truth, and they're commenting like crazy on social media over it, usually without having read the article or seen the video. So, I think it's that jump the gun syndrome that people tend to have.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I would like to say we've been trained that way. That's exactly what they want us to do. Mm-hmm. So, you got to take note of that. Am I reacting as I've been trained to react, or am I reacting from an intelligent mind?
Yep, that's true, Ellie. I mean, we've got to discern what's real and what's not, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this show. I wanted it to be a little bit lighter, but at the same time, we got to be careful out there, because we can let ourselves run with a lot of the BS out there. Les, did you have something to say?
Well, yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you a question, Dave.
Go for it, man.
Would you, in my opinion, I'm very glad that it was a hoax, in a way. Mm-hmm. I'd like to get your take on that. Were you glad to find out it was a hoax, or what's your opinion of that?
Well, fortunately, I'm not as sharp as a lot of people out there. I fell for the vid. At first, I was kind of like, no way. But then I saw the vid. I don't know what Kubrick really looks like, besides, some of the older pictures. But, I wasn't really paying that much attention. I was just telling myself, wow, the moon landing's rigged, Mm-hmm. That was my, first, gut instinct to go with was, I can't believe we didn't go to the moon. This guy's really saying that he faked it. And that just changes everything. It changes everything about all kinds of topics, not just the fact that we went to the moon, but, what does the Earth really look like? What does space look like? What does the moon look like?
That's what I meant, dude. That's why I wanted to ask you, because the repercussions would have been huge if it was true. But Joe Blow on the street doesn't know what Kubrick looks like. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I didn't fight with Rick about it not being Kubrick, but I didn't know what Kubrick looked like. Mm-hmm. He knew.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but I don't think it would have as big of an impact as people think. Believe it or not, you would have a handful of people who want revenge. They want justice for having people blowing smoke up their ass about something. But overall, what it comes down to is, like, Sunday, you find out that this is all, bullshit. And, 6 o'clock on Monday, I'm still fighting traffic to Seattle.
Yeah.
So, that's what I think the overall thing would be. So you still have people going, oh, man, the moon landing was fake. Well, off to my 12-hour shift, and then debating what to do for lunch.
Yeah, people still have a 9 to 5, Rick. But my whole point is, I guess, what about all that money stolen from from U.S. citizens? What about the millions of Americans and everybody all over the world who believed in this and were lied to? I know a lot of those politicians are gone, and everybody would go, "Hey, wasn't me? I didn't." But still,
to be honest, and sorry to play devil's advocate here, but the American people and actually citizens of the world are lied to by their respective governments on a daily basis and still don't really give a shit.
Hey guys, hang on one second. Casper had another comment on this. Go ahead, Casper. I was reading it in Spreaker, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, because when the video first came out, and it seemed like the video kept on getting sent to Jimmy, and it seemed like it was being targeted, and then it had in the description box flat Earth, and that was like a day or two after the announcement. Well, we're going to discuss flat Earth on Fader night. It seemed like it was targeted, and it was like throwing a fish lure out there to see who's going to bite on it, and then it discredits certain people, shows, and things of that sort. Whether it's Coast to Coast, this show Beyond the Strange, or Jimmy's Fade to Black or whatever, but see who's going to bite on it and say, oh, it's real, and then bam, they come up, okay, then they admit it was fake, and it really does a lot of disservice to the shows. It was almost like it was targeted, because if I remember right, Les can correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't it seem like Jimmy got like the first few invites to see that video?
Actually, I can say he and a couple other people were probably one of the first ones to actually see it. And believe it or not, I'm going to give a little prop to Rick here. If it hadn't been for Rick, it might have gone on longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Casper, I wanted to ask you, so you feel like it wasn't a coincidence that we were going to talk about flat Earth, then all of a sudden Kubrick video pops up, and now everybody's talking about that, and the two kind of intertwine, of course.
I don't think so. I think it was targeted to a degree, maybe not completely. It's awful funny because I probably pronounced Kubrick's name wrong, but because he did the film 2001, which was authored by Arthur C. Clarke, and Clarke had that Childhood's End on Sci-Fi Channel the following week. I don't think that was probably coincidental, but that was just one of those weird things.
Another weird thing, Casper, was that the whole video was connected to flat Earth, and we had been talking about that very week.
Yeah, and which is something else I won't buy into, but I think it was somewhat targeted. Whether it was deliberately targeted at them, or they just go after they did the production, they go, well, hey, let's target this group of people here. One, because they know it's going to go viral quicker, and here's the conspiracy thing, which you couldn't prove or disprove, and I'm not saying it's true. To discredit certain people in the field in certain shows that are being broadcast. If they run with it like it's real and run with it for days on end, then bam, it comes up, oh, well, it was fake all along. That really does a disservice to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It comes across as one of those harsh lessons of read the fine print.
Yeah, it's like the Roswell Slides. It's something I never bought. I never bought.
We're getting into that later. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go into that after the break. Yeah. But actually, one of the other topics, and it goes with this. It really goes with this. Is the flat Earth that we were going to talk about, and that's great that you brought that up about the Kubrick film or video coming up at the same time that everyone was going to talk about flat Earth on Fader night. Personally, my opinion, I mean, yeah, flat Earth, no, sorry, but go ahead, Allie. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was just going to add in a real wild hair.
Go for it.
This would be really convenient if, and I've been watching some of the posts on the news, and I follow Stillness in the Storm, and I follow Corey Good, and all the reports coming out from, and David Wilcock, all the reports coming out from that end are saying that, they're getting ready to reveal the space stations that we have up there that nobody knows about, et cetera, et cetera. Well, wouldn't it be convenient? Wouldn't it be really nice to just discombobulate everybody to the point where nobody could make sense out of what was really going on? Then we forget about that there is a secret space program, and that really all of that crap, all that money, all that hoo-ha is going towards that. Let's confuse the issue totally. And yeah, we did go to the moon, but what we saw and what Kubrick said is true. What we got to see was totally a Hollywood production, and they've been on the moon since the 30s. I mean, hey, don't forget that part. That's all I want to add.
Well, you know, something that's rather interesting is the people that are into this and people that look into this, they're usually highly analytical, and they'll dig into something, and they're obsessive like a dog with a bone. I mean, they'll go after it and after and after it to the point where it's a mentally unstable obsession. Okay, so if we take these people who are more than willing to dig into the dark recesses of governmental secrets, and we throw them off track, and we say, hey, tell you what, there's UFOs, there's this, there's that, there's the other, and they get so obsessed with that, they won't really look at the other little miscellaneous things that we get, that we're guilty of. For example, when they knowingly infected the black community with syphilis just to see how it spread. And maybe their secrets are just as dirty, just as dark, but not, I don't know, for lack of a better term, as exciting. And there are actually secrets that they're covering up, like arms deals, CIA, heroin deals with South America, or coke deals. And then maybe a lot of the stuff that's coming up with the paranormal is more of a smokescreen for something that is a lot less interesting.
I have thought of that. It's been dogging me for the last 6 months. What if all of this is just the most masterfully minded psyop we have ever experienced? And it's 80 years old at this point. Oh my God.
Okay, Allison. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rick.
Oh, because I was going to say, is basically what is more interesting to the public overall, Roswell or the Iran-Contras? I mean, think about it. What's more interesting? Ollie North trying to cover up for Reagan, selling arms to the Middle East, or we're covering up a UFO crash from another planet with beings that are completely not human, and so we cover it up. What's more interesting?
Look here! Oh, squirrel!
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
the
Allison,
power of targeted disinformation.
There you go, Adam. That's true. Unless you wanted to ask Allison something before we go to break.
Well, yeah. First thing I wanted to say was one other thing about this. Patrick dude, whatever the heck his name is. I really hope we all forget his name forever after this. He was gleefully making comments on his YouTube channel about how fabulous a job he did.
Douchebag.
Exactly.
He did a crap job.
Yeah. Well, he was extremely happy with the bad press that he got.
Dude, it was the hoax equivalent to a first grader's macaroni art.
True. And Allison,
I'm sorry.
And Allison, and this will have to wait, I guess, because we've only got like a minute left before we take our break. Another thing I want to bring up with you, and maybe we can talk about this later, is you had brought up something about David Wilcock. Talking, when we were talking the other night with Adam, doing the mock thing with him about the Bigfoot, about Saturn, all the souls being torn up apart on Saturn and turning, basically, all their souls being, brought to Earth and turned into Bigfoot. That kind of thing just sounds kind of like it sounds like Hollywood, Hollywood story time to me.
Yeah,
and maybe I'll get your answer about that in a little bit. But
yeah,
I'd like to know
that's a good idea.
To think about it.
Let's do that after the break. Let's do that after the break.
It can be really quick. Just go to Gaiam TV and watch David Wilcock's weekly show that occurred last Monday. And if you can't do that, I could write a blog on it or something, but and that's kind of what he said, but not. And I know I did not say it as well as I should have. So therefore it sounded really fantastical, and I apologize for that.
Well, we can definitely get more into that when we come back. Let's go ahead and take our second break. This is Beyond the Strange, everybody, and we'll be back after this. Don't go away.
Oh, you're awake. Holy crap. Need to get my notebook.
Hey, are you strange? How strange are you? You should listen to Beyond the Strange, hosted by Dave Cruz, Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Break out, all you faternauts and other truth seekers. Look behind the curtain of perceived reality to the strangeness beyond. Keep up with us on Twitter at #BeStrange.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Beyond the Strange. I'm Dave Cruz, and we are talking about all kinds of subjects that we like to definitely consider.
Beyond the bullshit.
So there you go. And we want to pick up where you and Allison were talking about, Les?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say we had a few more people join us in Spreaker chat. I want to say hello to Lou, who's joined us for the first time ever. Hi, Lou.
Hey, what's up, Lou?
Sir Bear has joined us, of course, and my big brother Barrett. I want to say do a shout out for him. It was his birthday last week. Love you, brother.
Right on.
As far as this, what I was just talking about, and I know I probably didn't do it justice, Allison. There was, and I'll go watch this afterwards because I do have Gaiam. It just seemed, it seemed fantastical. It seemed very Hollywood, and it just seemed like something we, maybe it's just not anything I really need to hear about. But it just sounds like. It sounds like bullshit. I hate to say it.
It's not one of our topics.
Well, right. Okay, I watch Wisdom Teachings along with the Corey Good and David Wilcox show on Gaiam. And on Wisdom Teachings, David is talking about the law of one and how it is correlating with what's going on today and how the information makes sense to what he's hearing with Corey Good and a lot of his other whistleblowers. And basically, what he said was 500,000 years ago, there was a catastrophe. Okay. You know how Iapetus has that ring around it, and it has that little like circle on it, and it looks like the Death Star from Star Wars?
Yeah, I saw that episode, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, he goes on to say in the next episode that the people of Tiamat, the large planet where the asteroid ring is now, had decided that because they were very warlike, really would like to have more control over just the solar system. So they were building one of these around Saturn, and the rings around Saturn are what's left of that kind of CERN-like destructor that they were trying to build that would then give them power to shoot anything out in the whole galaxy. But so at any rate, people didn't like this. So they came and they said, no, you're not going to do this, and they had a war. It ended up with Tiamat exploding, and Mars, which is a moon of Tiamat, was shocked on one side. That's why they say they're finding a lot of shocked quartz on one side of Mars. And when this occurred, when the planet Tiamat exploded, of course, all of the life forms, the people on it, died instantaneously, kind of like Hiroshima. And what they found out from that they knew by Hiroshima was that if you do not extract the souls of these beings at the moment of that type of time-space rip destruction, that the souls get shredded. Not that they can go anywhere, but they're shredded. And what happened to all those souls on Tiamat and Mars, because it was inhabited with oceans and it was a rather lovely little moon, right? That these beings got caught in, like, if you see, like, have you ever made a rubber band ball? They were all so entwined that they could not extract themselves as whole beings. And David said, and it just kind of like caught me, I was like, oh wow, that these people were caught in one huge cosmic scream for hundreds of thousands of years. And at about 75,000 years ago, now that occurred at 500,000 years ago. At about 75,000 years ago, they were finally able to extract and get to these people and pull them out and begin to work with them and begin to heal them. And as part of working off the karma they incurred from being involved, like we are at this moment on this planet, where we're all kind of going, yeah, well, I don't know, they're the government, what can we do? In other words, they sat back and they let other people take over their destiny instead of standing up and saying, no, you don't have the right to do this to this planet, to do this to us, etc., etc. Because they were caught in that kind of a karmic disaction and something that was so negative, they did have karma to work off. So what he says was that they were then reincarnated in a 2D form in what they are now calling the inner earth, where some of the Agarthan and some of the other races have been found that David Wilcock and Corey Good are talking about. And it took thousands of years for these people to work through their karma. They were born in kind of like a Neanderthal situation where they really had to work and evolve from 2D once again into 3D. And then at about 4,500 years ago, the people from Mars were also reincarnated on Earth. And all he was saying was that they had to heal in the astral and then reincarnate in 3D lives on Earth and become once again individuated consciousnesses, because when they did incarnate into 2D, they still were not whole entities. So, and this is all, he works this in with the law of one, and in the actual TV show that he does, he gives the verses and everything like that. It makes a great lot of sense. And basically, that's what he said.
Okay, so and
they chose this to work their karma off.
All right. Just to, and I do respect Wilcock. I do respect Good. I do agree with some of the things that they say, but not necessarily everything they say.
Oh, right, me too.
This one just seems too fantastical for me. It goes way over my head, I guess.
And I agree, because I think that I also have a feeling that the Bigfoot is like another
message?
Pardon me?
Isn't it kind of taking away from the message you've been trying to kind of talk about to begin with?
No, because, okay, there's wisdom teachings, and then there's his program with Corey Good. And in wisdom teachings, what he's trying to do is link up the old story of the history of planet Earth that has been wiped from our memory in a number of ways, either by catastrophe, by actual plan, or by the fact that some of the people that have reincarnated here have done this in a situation where they've needed to really grow, which seems to be our lot as a planet in the solar system. But I also, like you, Les, believe that Bigfoot can also be an off-planet race, and also could maybe be a parallel universe race, and that they are more gifted than we are. However, that's not a leap, because understand, even if these people incarnated on this planet 75,000 years ago, and the rest of them 45,000 years ago, and they lived underneath the earth and not up here with the rest of the bullshit that was going on, and they did not experience the flood as a catastrophe. They have had a very long time to evolve as a
Allison?
unified. Yeah?
Sorry to interrupt. But one of the big things with all these claims, whether it's Jim Mars or Wilcock or whoever, when it comes to Tiamat and all this other stuff, and this soul Cuisinart and all this, where are they getting this information is my first big question.
Well, David says that he has several whistleblowers that have told him the same story, and then he's linked it back to the law of one. Now, you know what? I'm just repeating what I heard, guys.
Okay, well, hold on. Well, just follow me on this, okay? Because keep in mind, and this is for everybody to keep in mind, extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof.
Yes, they do.
And so far with the story of Tiamat, obviously, nobody's there to see it happen. I haven't, personally, from my research, I haven't found any scientific evidence saying that, this big giant super Earth came in and collided with this and created Mars.
No. It was here. It didn't collide with anything. It was destroyed by another race that came in here that wanted to stop the people of Tiamat from utilizing Saturn as a mega weapon.
Okay.
So it was part of the system.
Okay, but it still comes down to, where did he get this information?
Well, like I said, Law of One and his whistleblowers. So I was just like inserting that. It could be another theory. It doesn't mean that I believe it and that I think that it should be, but it is another thing to consider. Because we have about as much proof for that as we do for Bigfoot. We have sightings of people.
Actually, we do have a little more proof of Bigfoot than we do of this, though.
Well,
to be honest.
Well, it depends on how you value where your information is coming from, and how you decide to accept whose information is right and whose information is wrong. Now, if we had some bones and some DNA and a number of things, I just bought that book by Jim Vieira, the Giants book that they just published, and man, that really has some good stuff in it. And I think that the Giants are linked in with all the rest of this. So, I mean, there are so many different versions and so much information out there. It's really difficult to sift it all through and put it where it belongs on that goddamn flow chart of how it happened.
Guys, let's go ahead. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt or cut anybody off.
No, that's cool.
I'm done. Let's go ahead and move on to the next subject, which was going to be the Roswell Slides. And yeah, let's just do that. And for everyone who's listening right now, sorry, everybody, Spreaker went out. I'm working on it right now. So, yeah, I know it sucks. But there's a part 2. So if you guys came over to YouTube, Spreaker should be back up now on a part 2 Beyond the Strange episode 20. So,
hey, Barrett, anyways, you want to say hello to everybody?
Yeah, Barrett, what's going on, man? How's it going?
Hi guys, how are you?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Happy birthday.
Well,
belated birthday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, welcome to the show, man. First time, appreciate it. Rick, you want to go ahead and start us off on the Roswell Slides while I deal with this?
Okay. Well, for just the Reader's Digest version of anybody might not be aware of the Roswell Slides, some key people in the ufology field came across like a trunk in somebody's attic that had chroma slides, Kodak chroma slides. They're stating that one of them had an alien, like a dead alien or something like that, on one of the slides. When I got a chance to look at the picture, I had to call shenanigans, because if you looked at the picture, and anybody wants to Google Roswell slide, you'll see that it's a small humanoid remains in a glass display case that you could see at any local store, comic book shop, any place that has glass display cases. Everybody, you'll see them in pawn shops, antique shops, and all that stuff. It's very common. It's not exactly something that the government would hold, or at least I don't think that they would hold alien remains in. There was a piece of paper with writing on it that nobody could really tell what it said. Later on, once it hit the internet, people were able to tell that it came from a museum in San Francisco. It was on loan. And the big glaring piece of evidence was the woman standing behind the remains in this A-line late 50s, early 60s type of dress. These, I don't know, like a coat you'd see Mary Tyler Moore in, something like that. And so they did this big production, did a big pay-per-view in Mexico City, and all hell broke loose from there. Some folks lost credibility. And yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Wasn't prepared to really do the presentation on what it was. So, Dave,
that's all right, man. It's fine. It was just one of those things that we wanted to call BS on, and I just feel like me, with the whole Kubrick video. I took that hook, line, and sinker when I first saw it. And Roswell Slides, for me, for some reason, not so much. But a lot of people really thought it was true. They really believed it, and there's still people that are saying, to this day, that it's true. But
But you know what? A lot of people got burned by that too.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about that.
No, what really got me more than anything on the whole thing, and you can actually use the beyond the what right now, please. What really burned me more than anything was
douchebag.
Exactly. That works. Anyway, what got me was their slides. Okay, they are little pieces of film. There's no context. There's nothing beyond the slides. You can't prove anything beyond it. They were taking these 2 slides as practical evidence, as real evidence that there's an alien out there somewhere. You can't do that. Because all they are, all they ever were, until you actually find the body, is a slide. These people went to freaking Mexico, charged people pay-per-view, and then put up a bunch of fancy fancy fucking graphics, pardon my language, to show what the alien could look like.
You can say graphics, it's okay.
Thank you, Rick. You're always there for me, man. And they tried to, it's like a bunch of kids in art class taking paste and pasting it and then putting something on a piece of paper. I mean, it was crap. It was crap from the beginning. It was crap to the end. And then you have, after everybody gets their payday, they go, oh, well, well, we didn't have the computer technology available. Dude, it took people, once they put the freaking slides out, less than a week to figure that shit out. Now you're telling me, now this is why we're talking about this crap, this bullshit, because these people basically fleeced, I don't know how many people in a pay-per-view. They fleeced people, and they put, what really pissed me off was they bring Richard Dolan as a figurehead, okay, and basically don't tell him what's going on, and basically use him. His career, he doesn't even want to talk about it anymore because his career has taken a hit because of it. Now, and I'll remember, we were at CITD, Rick, okay,
yeah,
and we sat next to one of them. He didn't care. It had just been proven.
It was Donald Schmidt.
Yeah, Donald Schmidt. It had just been proven that the slides were crap. He didn't act like he even gave a shit.
No, he did. He gave 2 shits.
Maybe.
That's better than none, I guess. I personally, I'd rather have no shits.
I guess.
Well, what really floors me is I don't know what kind of professionals. I mean, technically, anybody who takes money for a service is a professional in regards to that service. So, I mean, I can go to the 13-year-old kid down the street, have him mow my yard, pay him $5, and he's a professional groundskeeper now. So, I mean, I guess if you want to go by technicalities and verbiage, okay, I guess these people were professionals, but obviously they know dick all about forensics. And one of the obvious things that they really should have looked at is not necessarily the focus of the picture, because that is how magicians pull off their sleight of hand, is they have you focusing at one thing while they pull off something off to the side. And if they would have taken that into account, and rather than looking at the remains that are on this glass shelf that you can find at any local retail store, they would have noticed the surroundings. And it's obviously not a military institution. The lady that's behind it was obviously not dressed in military garb. It's just, that's what's getting me, is they didn't look at the big picture. They just saw this piece of humanoid beef jerky on a glass shelf and said, oh, we got an alien. It's like, no, you have something small and humanoid. I don't think they've vetted it at all. They claim they did. I think it was a lot of hype. I think it was a money grab. And I know some people don't really like that. I know there are a lot of people out there still trying to play nice. But just remember, one oh shit erases 1,000 attaboys, and that was a massive oh shit moment. And they didn't do any of the forensics. Any of those people, obviously they would never be able to work for a police force unless it was like maybe the LAPD, where they could ignore evidence, or something like that. And I just think it was a total clusterfuck. I mean, for a lack of a better term. And I think they were manipulative. I think they knew exactly what they're doing. They probably paid X amount of money to get the slides, and when they saw that they were crap, they said, well, I refuse to lose money on this. What can we do with this? Let's try to turn our lemons into lemonade. And at one point, I mean, I think they're even trying to get Nick Redfern in on it, and Nick Redfern is like, "No, I'm good. No, I'm not doing this one." So I mean, it was obvious, you know, and they're trying to get the who's who in ufology to try to give them credibility, you know, and why they do the big reveal in Mexico. It's not like it's this massive international cosmopolitan, you know, location like, say, you know, like Paris, France, or, you know, Stockholm or London or something like that. It's not. Nobody thinks, you know, oh, let's go look at the fine art in Mexico City once we can get past the smog. You know, I mean, it just reeked of bullshit from day one for me. Les, Dave, what do you guys think?
No, that's my point. I mean, it totally reeks of bullshit, you know. I don't know.
Why don't we go to the rest of our panel and ask them what they think too?
That's a great idea. Adam, do you have any input on this, or are you familiar with the Roswell Slides?
Barrett, what about you?
Yeah. Well, you know,
sorry.
The way that, oh, okay.
Oh, no,
Go ahead,
that's
Adam.
okay.
Sorry about that.
Adam's back.
I actually did not have a chance to see the slides, but to be honest with you, when we first heard about them and they were starting to build up all the hype, I really just, my intuition about all of it was that it was just a crock. To be honest with you, from the very beginning, I didn't believe even a second of it. So I really wasn't surprised that it turned out the way that it did. It's really a shame that you have such underhanded and manipulative pieces of crap out there that give ufology and good researchers such a crap name because of their money grubbing shill habits. But hey, beyond that, I don't think I have an opinion.
I think you're holding back. I think you're hiding your emotions. You're blocking.
Just a little bit. What
do
you think,
perhaps
Barrett?
I should just do some clearing.
Barrett, what do you say?
Well,
say
you know, I thought that they did a pretty good job of pre-selling it, because as I heard all of the chat about it, you know, they tied it to the Eisenhower friend and the suitcase that came from the friend of Mamie Eisenhower. So they tried to give at least a semblance of some sort of providence in the buildup. But, I mean, seriously, it was so easy to take the photo, bring it into Photoshop, contrast it out, and fix it. You know, any teenager could have avoided the entire thing. And I mean, what else do you need to say? The whole thing could have been avoided very easily with just a very simple effort. And I don't know. I think it brings the producers into a really shady kind of light. It makes them suspect. What do you guys think?
I think that. Go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say I agree. It's very suspect. It's you know, manipulation and greed in action. It seems to me, and I think it just gives paranormal research in general a really bad rap. You know, it's so much negative press when people do that, and it has such a huge impact on the community. So, yeah, it's definitely suspicious and underhanded.
Yep, I think so too.
Well, I think the next time somebody comes up with a picture, this is going to come up. Say, hey, you know, I found a picture of, you know, an alien found in a trunk, and they're like, oh, what? Like the Roswell Slides? And it's going to become the punchline, and it's going to cast doubt. You know, unfortunately, you know, because of all the hoaxes that have been going on and all of the, we'll make it fit type of approach with evidence that we've been faced with for easily 20 years. When I heard about it, I didn't have very high hopes. I was interested in seeing it, to see what they're going to limp out of the gate with, but I didn't have very high hopes. I wasn't getting emotionally invested in it. And then when it came out to be what it is, it's like, well, great crap, I expected this, fabulous, but I didn't expect the names that were connected to it, and that's what I think hurts the community overall, for everybody who's trying to find, legitimate information. This just basically screws it all up for everybody.
While we're on the subject of hoaxes, this really reminds me of the alien autopsy way back in, was it the early 90s or the late 80s? I can't remember exactly, but
Yeah, Dave,
Fox, go ahead.
I was going to say, don't insult alien autopsy, because that actually took it. That actually took effort, and also had a lot. It also had a lot more validity, and also there was definitely a craftsmanship with creating the fake alien. That one.
This is true.
I will be honest. Okay, now if you want to talk about a good hoax,
quit being a derp, Rick.
No, alien autopsy, that was a good job. No, I'm serious. Alien autopsy was a great job. They did a very good job, and just the way it was remarkably done. As far as hoaxes go, the damage that it does that it does to the community, yeah, it screws us. But
hey,
honestly,
Casper?
It's a good hoax.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, Casper, why don't you give us your opinion now, since we've all kind of weighed in?
On the Roswell Slides, when they first surfaced, I wasn't in Faded Black yet, but I was at a forum which is really updated and everything. And when I saw them, I looked at the glass casing in the background, and I immediately called BS on it, because it just, there's so many slides and photos and blah 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 that have been floating around for decades that I've reached a point now where, and someone said this in speaker chat too, show me the dead body, bring me a live one. I want to see some physical hard evidence in my hand. The spacecraft, I want to physically show me. A while back there was a guy, I had these people hooked me up and with human aliens, and it showed me their spacecraft, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, hook me up, brother. Alien autopsy, that was for when that came out in the 90s, that was, the production of that was pretty good. I was kind of hesitant on it. Like I said, I've been in this for so long that it's like you guys too, I'm kind of like, I always kind of like step back and go, I don't know. But the alien Roswell Slides, I mean, and everybody goes to Mexico where it's difficult to prosecute anybody for anything. If any laws are broken, I don't know. It was just too much. The alien autopsy video, that was well done. I mean, that had a lot of people going for quite a few years, and I think still does to a degree. I'm sure it does. And I myself a couple times, because I'm a writer, so the writer in me sometimes will come up with an idea for a hoax that I know I could pull off, but it's like, I'm not going to do that because it's not a nice thing to do to people. It's really not. It's not a very nice thing to do. And I can come up with some good hoaxes that would probably make people's skin crawl, but I'm like, you just don't do it because you can't discredit people. It hurts people that are doing legitimate research. These people come out and make crazy claims. This happened in history, or this is going to happen in the future, and I'm kind of always like, well, let's wait and see. Because there's so much going on out there that we don't really know. We get bits and pieces of the truth, and we're trying to put the puzzle together so we can see the entire picture. but we're not, because we're getting bits and pieces of the puzzle, but then we're getting bits and pieces from a puzzle that's a piece of fiction that doesn't even belong in the real puzzle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so we're getting bits and pieces of the puzzle that's reality, and then other people are throwing, oh, here, try this piece, and they're opening up other boxes that are complete fiction and trying to throw it in with the real puzzle we're trying to put together, and that just makes a real mess. And and it's difficult for us on this end to sort through it all and put the pieces together, to see what's what. Even when we get disclosure, and it is coming at some point in time. I don't think even at that point in time we're going to have the complete puzzle. Because at that point we need to say, okay, well, we want to talk to other alien species out there besides just you guys. But
Laurel,
all these hoaxes are just fiction thrown into the reality puzzle.
Yeah, Laurel made a good point on Spreaker Chat. She said she was cautiously optimistic because of the big names, and when the slides came out, she was shocked at the BS.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of us were. I remember on Twitter we were all like, "You're kidding me, right? Really?"
Yeah, it's hard when these Roswell slides come out, because when they came out, because I say in the format as part of, I kind of like went on it, but it's difficult to want to come out and condemn something because you're right away before all the evidence is in, you don't want to condemn it either. So that makes it difficult, because a lot of people in this field of ufology, they're really good people. I mean, they're open-minded, they're good people. They don't want to call people liars, at least not to their face. And because generally speaking, they're good people.
At the same time, and Casper, I'm sorry if I don't want to step over, but at the same time, we don't want to do that here. Also, we don't want to call anyone liars. But when something like that comes up, and there's so many people out there who they just don't know the difference, or they don't have the discernment. I think it's important. And it doesn't mean that it's our duty, but it's something that some people do need to. They need to keep someone in check. I mean, it just has to. Someone has to say something. They got to call, BS, or they just got to keep them back in line or something like that. But hey, we're going to go to our last break, and when we come back, we might actually. I think we will go over. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk some more. This is Beyond the Strange. I am Dave Cruz, and I'm having a blast. I hope you guys are too. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Are you bored with your Sunday nights? Looking for something different? A show that's for you, the listener? Tune in Sunday evenings, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, to Beyond the Strange.
And we are back. This is Beyond the Strange. I am your host, Dave Cruz, and we are talking about just about everything we can throw at you. Where we just left off, we were talking about Roswell Slides, alien autopsy. We're talking about everything tonight, folks, because tonight we are talking about
Beyond the Bullshit.
There you go, Les. I know you like that. So yeah, I mean, this has been a really great show. I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate you guys and Spreaker coming back and out there and on YouTube listening. Appreciate it. We just had Kat come in here for a second, and then she just disappeared.
We did. Disappeared, man. I was like, Kat was here, man. Come back,
Kat was just here. Yeah, if you can hear us, Kat, come back and
here, kitty.
Come back into the Hangouts panel. It's as you can tell, it's very eventful, if you will. But moving on, we can go on and talk some more about Roswell Slides a little bit later or whatever. But another one of the things I wanted to talk about, and there she is, Kat. Are you there? I see your picture. Okay, well, just chime in whenever.
Yes, I am. Voice. Yeah, this is Kat. What's up, guys?
I think you need a little chamomile tea and some honey there for your throat.
This is Kat. Hi.
Oh my God, she's gonna kill me for doing that.
There she is.
I don't know how to put it on speaker.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I have a really messy house. I couldn't do video. No.
Oh, we don't do that. Yeah, we don't normally do that. I don't. Video, Kat. Yeah, we try not to scare anyone, so it's all good.
Kat, I just wanted to say something really quick for anybody who hasn't seen Kat's band or anything like that. You can go to YouTube and you can find videos of Our Precious Demise. And I tell you, if you want to hear a voice that will scare the living shit out of you.
Better
and it's just, I mean, so much better than half of the dudes out there in like the death metal scene and stuff like that. I mean, I was
so much better.
Oh man, I mean, and I'm not just. In fact, I was telling my dad about this a few months ago. I'm like, dude, you gotta check this out. And it's just like, yeah, and I'm like, I could never sing like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's awesome.
No, you really sound awesome, though, Kat. Really,
everybody,
seriously.
YouTube, Our Precious Demise.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So embarrassed.
We sit around and like watch your videos together, Kat. It's kind of.
Please don't. I'm such a nerd.
When I watch your videos, I'm wearing nothing but a green feather boa and a pair of tap shoes. If that makes you more comfortable, it probably didn't.
It does.
Just a little bit.
Now put on the yellow galoshes and bark like a schnauzer.
Thanks, Adam.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
Oh, sorry about that, guys.
Somebody's calling in to complain.
Someone's Skyping.
Somebody's calling in complaining. This is Beyond the Strange. Who is this?
This is Bear.
Bear. Oh my gosh. Now we got Sir Bear. How you doing tonight, Bear?
What's up, Bear?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just had to chime in about the cat fight.
The cat fight?
Yeah, cat's on, so I had to chime in. I got a little picture of a bunch of like cartoon cats having a big pillow fight, so I thought I'd chime in and say hello.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cat fight we're having on here right now. No, just kidding. But right on.
Yeah, so I thought I'd call in and
I'm just
say
kidding,
howdy.
Kat. Never mind.
And that picture of that Bigfoot thing, okay, that was kind of close, but it was like no cigar.
Which Bigfoot are you talking about?
Yeah, when I called in about the Bigfoot.
Oh yeah. That was a couple. Yeah,
and you showed me a picture.
Yeah, man. Do you guys want to talk about that? Well, actually, Les. Well, we'll bring that up another time. We'll bring it up another time. But
what did you want to bring up?
Well, just about since this is the BS show, all the BS backlash we got on the Miller doc.
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
did get a lot of backlash with that, but you know what? I consider there's no such thing as bad press, and thanks to them, we almost have 600 views on that.
Absolutely, and more people are going to get exposed to the doc that way too.
Yeah, the face was off. I mean, it was like way off from what I saw. And especially around the eye ridge. On that picture, it was like way exaggerated, and the jaws were nowhere near.
Which picture are you talking about?
It's in Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Is it the Muppet Bigfoot that we were talking about earlier? The one.
No,
that's what people have
the
dubbed
guy
it.
that I talked to identified it as the ape monkey.
I saw that. Yeah, that was.
It did not. The face. Some of it. You got to see one of those things to believe it. I mean.
Right. Well, Bear, supposedly there are several different types of Bigfoot that quite possibly from genetic inbreeding are different from one another. So.
Okay, yeah, I understand that, and some of them are actually like gorilla or like apes that especially on the East Coast. But what I saw was slightly different, and a friend of mine seen one up around similar one around the Shasta area. Okay, but its fur was darker, so there's a lot of people that have seen these things, and nobody wants to talk about them because of the ridicule factor. But I'm at the point I don't care.
Yeah, we're at that.
Of course, there's going to be a lot more inbreeding in the Appalachian area. So, just saying.
Yeah, well,
are we talking about the
in
Bigfoot
the Appalachian?
Yeah,
you choose.
I can pretty much pinpoint within a mile or so of where this was, and where my sighting. But I'm not going to tell anybody where it was because I don't want people going up there and doing harm to them because they are very intelligent creatures, very intelligent. Sometimes I wonder if they're not more intelligent than people are. But
I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, in some cases, of course.
One that my friend saw, he was up near Mount Shasta, and he saw his sighting up there. But he was in a car, and this thing was running, and it was going fast. So he was doing about 45, and he said this thing was pretty much keeping up with him, but not quite.
And there's no doubt about that. I mean, from what we read on the Miller doc, Bear, is these animals. I mean, the creatures they're so tall. I mean, just when they walk, they cover so much ground. It's like they're moving so fast. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to pretend to be a researcher on Bigfoot. I just know that they're just amazing creatures that definitely need a lot more study.
Draggers either.
No, absolutely not. They're so intelligent.
Their arms are a little bit longer than ours, and they might go down to about where their kneecaps are when they're standing upright.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're not like an ape type thing. It's believe me, it's something you got to see to really for it to hit you because it once you see it, you don't forget it.
I think sometime we might be seeing them, and I'll say that. I'll say why a little bit later. But thanks for calling in, Bear. Appreciate you calling in, man.
Hey, no problem. And hey, Les, when you get a chance, give me a call. I got some information for you.
Yeah, I know. We will definitely. I'll definitely get in touch with you the next day or so, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Love you,
and I want to just say hi to everybody out there.
Oh, they're hearing you.
Hey, Bear.
Okay.
What's up, Bear?
Be well. Have a happy Yule, Christmas, whatever. Hugs go out to everybody, okay?
Hana Kwana Christmica.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Happy Festivus.
Thank you, brother.
For the rest
All
of
right,
us.
brother. Bye.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
You know, something...
Sir Bear, everybody.
Yeah. But, you know, something that's really interesting that a lot of people don't really think about, when you're going to try to do a hoax and you're trying to do a hoax on Bigfoot, one of the things that you can spot between a hoax and something that's a lot more legitimate is the mid-tarsal break on the footprints. That's not something you would have to do. You'd have to have it's possible. Anything is possible, but
it's very hard to replicate.
You would have to have like a special effects department to create a prosthetic foot that can do a mid-tarsal break. Yep. And that's one of the things I'm talking about with proof and evidence. You know, one of the things I always look for personally is something that I can take to court. That's what I look for with evidence.
But you know, and that leads into what we were going to talk about next. A lot of times, what drives me nuts is, and this isn't actually perfect with a perfect way to go into what we wanted to talk about next. You know, a lot of times, you know, eyewitness testimony will send somebody to jail, or it will send somebody to the electric chair. Wow. But it's not good enough for UFOs, Bigfoot, paranormal, you know, ghosts, whatever. Right. But anyway, what's the next topic? What we were going to talk about was actually the derp between, or the bullshit between the UFO community, the paranormal community, and like the cryptid community. How it's bullshit. Exactly how it's okay for someone who believes in UFOs to think it's perfectly okay that UFOs are real, but Bigfoot and ghosts aren't real. Or somebody who believes in Bigfoot doesn't want to believe that, you know, that there's no way aliens. Oh, you're crazy if you believe in aliens.
I know personally, I hold everybody to the same standards. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof, but also the more extraordinary the claim, the more proof I want to help counterbalance it. It's got like a feng shui going to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, as I've always explained it, when you and I have our 5 o'clock rant sessions, where, you know, it's you got the guy who believes in ghosts, but Bigfoot and UFOs are bullshit. You got the Bigfoot guy, the ghosts and UFOs are bullshit. And you got the UFO guy, ghosts and Bigfoot are just complete bullshit. And what's really kind of funny is if you look at it from the average everyday person walking the street and just trying to survive, you got 3 camps arguing about about things that basically don't freaking exist. You know, I mean, it's like arguing who can kick whose ass, Hulk or Superman. Oh, but don't forget,
God, or yours.
Yeah, but don't forget we got Wolverine, and you know, yeah. So I mean, that's what it comes into, and it's maddening.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's your take on it, Kat?
Oh my gosh. I don't understand why they do that. And then they'll ridicule somebody for believing in it when they don't have any hard set proof themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the ego that, well, mine's right, yours is wrong. It should be everybody trying to help each other out and find out what's really going on.
Exactly, Kat. Exactly.
Think of the resources. Yeah, if the resources were all pulled together, amazing things could happen. But you have too many people. I don't know. It's kind of like I don't understand. I don't understand. I believe in all of it. It's all possible, and as long as nobody's ever going to be able to say no, it isn't. So how can you say it if you just got to keep believing in what, but don't have to ridicule other people for believing in something.
Well, even a physicist who believes in quantum mechanics says anything is possible. Anything in the quantum world. It's possible. You could keep, just like that weird movie, where, they say, if you focus hard enough, you can walk through walls. In a quantum world, you could literally, punch the wall 10 billion times, but one time it may actually go through that wall.
Right, exactly. And I love quantum mechanics. I love anything to do with physics and stuff. And it is all in the world that we can only perceive through these human eyeballs. And as far as our brains will allow us to think, we're taught to believe that, no, can't be. Nothing's real. I mean, this table isn't even really... I don't know what makes it a table, but apparently that's what it is. And then people are like, yep, it's a table forever. Nothing, the atoms made it a table. I don't know.
Atoms and molecules and electrons.
Farther than that. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it boggles your mind.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There is no anything, really.
Why don't we go in turn? Everybody, anybody else want to put their 2 cents in?
How about you, Casper? Yeah.
I think, as far as like talking about the 3 camps, and I think Kat's right too. This all could really be intertwined. They're all related to each other in some way that we just haven't seen yet. And if the resources were put together, probably could see some amazing things. But it's very possible that the Bigfoot type of community, the UFO community, ghost community, and all that, all 3 of them could be very, very intertwined with each other that we're just not seeing yet. If that makes any sense at all. But that's what I think. It could all be intertwined.
I agree.
Something I find interesting is people will always kind of poo-poo, oh, well, I saw, Bigfoot the day before there was a UFO, or vice versa, or I saw a UFO and a Bigfoot came out. And people are like, oh, that's complete bullshit. And I said, well, here's the thing. If Bigfoot exists, how do we know Bigfoot isn't getting abducted? Here you have a creature on planet Earth. It's a hominid just like all of us, walks on two legs, 2 arms, etc. It's got the basic template of how we look. And if I know if I was investigating another planet and I saw something like that, it's like, why is this guy, short and gray, and this one looks like a praying mantis, but they exist on the same planet? I know I would want to do an apples to oranges comparison and figure out what's going on. How we know they're not abducting Bigfoot? I mean, I would hate to be the sucker to have to do it, but I mean, how we know they're not abducting Bigfoot? How we know they're not? Yeah, how do we know that they're not part of the research? And it's completely plausible, that you look at it, you're like, this doesn't fit the equation. Why is this such a radically different creature but so similar? Well, let's let's do a probe and find out.
Hey Barrett, what do you say?
Well, to be fair, the Bigfoot guys do have their own TV show. Mm-hmm. So, they have an audience. But at the end of the day, there's such a enormous body of evidence, and it goes back, literally to antiquity as far as UFOs are concerned. It's just an overwhelming amount of evidence to look at. Yeah, you've got the eyewitness testimony and photographs and film, and look how many books have been written, and of course you go everything from Sitchin to Daniken and everything that's come since, and weigh that against how much material is out there for Bigfoot. I think it's just really a matter of following. I mean, how many people have we had call into to any of the shows, whether it be Coast or Fade to Black or anywhere, and say, I saw a Bigfoot?
A lot more than you think.
Well, no, but I'm just saying in proportion. proportionately, there's so many people that have had UFO experiences.
Right, but
And
you've also
so
got to understand it's the UFO shows started coming out a long time before the Bigfoot shows did. It's becoming much easier for a person to see. You see, and Rick and I were talking about this yesterday, or was it earlier today? I'm not sure which. They all blend together, Rick.
Yeah.
Basically, what we were saying is the big difference between someone seeing a UFO and someone seeing a Bigfoot is danger. When someone sees a UFO, they go, "Oh, look, a light in the sky." Most of the time, okay, not all the time.
Right, tell that to Travis Walton, right?
Right, and when someone sees a Bigfoot, usually it's for a few seconds, but usually there's only a matter of distance between them and that person. Usually it's a rather close-up encounter.
You know what, Les? Though I kind of side. I don't want to side with anyone, but you know, if I see a light coming out of the sky and coming towards me, I'm running just as fast as I'm running away from a Bigfoot, because I know what that could be. I'm not saying I know what it is, but you know, and then of course in this day and age where there's drones and stuff like that too. I mean, the unknown, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, is what I'm definitely running away from. I'm running away from growls, and I'm running away from lights in the sky, you know, because we know what, you know, this world has just got so many things out there that are unexplained, bro. And in my opinion, I think that's it's valid to treat everything the same.
Throw in the crop circles.
Yeah, I don't want to disvalue anything that you're saying, Barrett, but and I'll let Rick take it from here because he said it a lot more eloquently than I can.
I'd like
Rick?
to get Adam. I'd like to get Adam's take too, because Adam's kind of next.
All right.
Sure.
Well, I know with
comments.
I know with like the UFOs that I've seen in the past, they've been a few miles off. I've never seen anything within 10 feet of me that I know of. So it's been off in the distance, and you sit there and you're like, oh, wow, I'll be damned. There's a bright light that is not normal off into the sky. I'm going to chill here and see what it does. But if you're out in the middle of the woods, miles away from, you know, your car, a phone, any form of civilization.
Whoa. Yo, are you guys there?
Oops. No.
Whoa, what happened?
I don't know. We lost Rick.
Bigfoot.
Oh, his Bigfoot. Oh, here he is. He's back. He's back. What happened, dude?
I don't know. Apparently somebody didn't like what I had to say.
We thought Bigfoot got you, man.
No, I think UFOs got it.
Yeah, the UFOs.
No, I'm sorry, UFOs. There you go.
Yeah, the UFOs took me and said, dude, we don't like you dissing our importance, you know. But if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you don't know, you know, you could have a bear, you could have whatever. So you see this big, you know, 10-foot plus creature covered in hair walking on two legs. Your first reaction is like, oh shit, is that a bear rearing up? And then when you see it's not a bear and it's got a humanoid form, then you're going, whoa, shit, what is that? That's not normal. That's something that's not supposed to exist. It's looking at me. It's going to fucking kill me. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you release your bowels and you know, bad things
and
happen.
Your bladder, whatever.
Yeah, you know, and so, I mean, that's going to be the difference because now you have something that's 10 feet away from you. It's a creature. And the sense of physical harm is much more realistic to you right then and there than a light, you know, maybe a mile or two off in the distance. Mm-hmm. You know, and especially for somebody who's never believed in anything in the paranormal, they'll see lights in the sky and they'll say, oh, you know, Chinese paper lanterns, you know, somebody flying a drone, oh, it's whatever. And then you take that same person, you put them in the woods, and then they have a Bigfoot 10 feet away, you know, shit gets real.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, dude. I mean, for the Bigfoot proponents, I understand that you see a Bigfoot, a humanoid like that, a growl, you know, whatever. That's going to make a bigger difference than just seeing something floating around the sky.
I can tell you from personal experience, just hearing one do one of those blood-curdling screams will seriously make you go, "Oh crap! What the hell is that?" And
it might make you crap.
Yeah, and you want to run for cover. I mean, my dad and I, we experienced calls at his house. It's way out in this rural part of Whidbey Island up here in the Seattle area. Yeah, and there is nothing. You go out in his backyard or whatever, it's so rural you need a flashlight. There are no street lights. 70 to 80% of this island is forested. There's lots of places to hide.
This is a whole nother show.
Definitely.
Versus UFO.
And speaking of other shows, before we close out, I want to get Adam's. Adam, you want to have the last comment on anything you heard tonight? We're basically we're ending with all communities, paranormal, Bigfoot, UFO, conspiracy, whatever. Can we all just get along? That's basically what we're trying to say.
I think it's honestly, I think the separation that happens within the paranormal community as a whole happens for like 3 different reasons. One, there's always purposeful, targeted disinformation, because the moment that we can set aside our differences and different points of view and simply accept the fact that we're all fringe and start working together, that means no longer can disinformation really be used against us as a community. Like it's a
great point.
It will be useless against us at that point, because instead of nitpicking, backbiting, and gutting each other, instead we will stand together and unify ourselves as a community and speak with a single voice for truth. Okay, and the second reason I think that that there's a lot of separation is because deep down, we just want to be right. Each one of us with our own points of view, each group with its own special interests, they just want to be right. And sometimes the human need to be right is so strong, it wants to disallow any other human being's need to be right.
Yeah. I think that's
so, I think that sometimes plays into it, especially since, let's face it, we are the fringe. We are the paranormal community, and we are the community that the rest of the normal mundane world scoffs at. So there's always that extra tension with what any of us do as researchers or as writers or in many cases as journalists as well. So I think have all those different elements playing with one another. As far as to are aliens real? Is Bigfoot real? I don't go camping alone anymore, because while camping in Idaho one time, I've heard a Bigfoot scream, and let me tell you, I have never been more afraid of anything in my entire life, and I've lived through some pretty horrible crap.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you sacrifice the underwear, grab the emergency pair, and run for civilization.
Very well said, Adam.
So have I seen one? No. Have I seen evidence that completely convinces me? No. But I grew up hunting and fishing and camping my entire life. I know how to track animals. I know how to tell the difference in their spoor and their their prints. So I'm fairly sure I have never ever heard any other animal I'm familiar with make that noise.
Pretty distinguishing, huh?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's blood curdling. Yeah. Let me tell you, blood freaking curdling.
How close was it?
Honestly, I used to once a year. I used to go camping with a group of my friends. We would get together once a year, the first weekend in June, and every year somebody would draw the short straw and have to go up a night early and set up camp for everyone else because of work schedules. The only year that I got the short straw is the time that happened, and I've never ever gotten that short straw ever again.
So sorry.
Hey, Adam, Kat was asking how close were you to that scream? Is that right, Kat?
Yes. I'm sorry it faded out.
Do you know where the where we were camping was next to the river, kind of in the valley. So off across the other side of the river, there was a pretty decent ridge. And I thought that it was coming from the ridge, which would have been behind where I was set up. So I would say, a few hundred feet. But there was an echo factor.
Oh my God.
And I really did. I will not lie to you. I almost voided my bowels. I was so terrified that for about 15 seconds, my brain literally, I had a completely primal reaction and everything in me just froze, because I was like, what the hell was that?
Oh my God.
And my brain is silently ticking off the list. Wolves, no. Coyotes, no. Just going down the list, mountain cats, no. And so, yeah, I was freaked out. And like Barrett just said, howler monkeys, yeah. It wasn't a howler monkey, though. Those don't scare me. but yeah, it was very terrifying. And I'm not going to lie. I got in the Jeep and slept in the Jeep under things the rest of the night. And there really wasn't any sleeping. I don't think I was actually comfortable until the guys got there the next morning around 10. So.
I love camping, but not now.
Yeah, I wouldn't go alone.
now it's cabin time, huh, Kat?
Well, I wouldn't care if I was with 5-10 people. I'm gonna be the first one to the truck. I don't care.
Yeah, I heard that.
I just have to say, Adam, you really know how to put things together.
But I just have to be faster than you.
Oh man, we're losing you, Kat. I'm sorry. It must be some kind of connection problem. But yeah, I definitely agree with everyone here. And man, this has been a fantastic show.
Well, thank you guys so much. I really had a good time.
It's awesome to have you here, Kat.
So,
yeah, thanks.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
again.
to interrupt you. My signal is acting weird, and I want to let you know I love this show. That was so much fun. This is so cool. Good job, Dave. Bless everybody. Nice to be able to talk to everybody, and I will see y'all tomorrow night.
Hey, Kat, before you go,
Yeah.
what's that website again, so we can catch our precious demise in the music?
You have to stop doing. Are you there?
What? Yeah, we're here. What was that again?
I said y'all make me embarrassed when you do that.
No, well, I'm sure everyone listening right now
take
would
care
love
of
to
our
hear.
friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Please, where can we find our precious demise? Hello?
Did we lose her again?
Did we lose her?
No, I'm telling y'all, I live so far. I'm trying. I keep moving around.
You guys are on Bandcamp. I just posted that one in Google Plus.
We're on Bandcamp? What does that mean?
We got it.
Oh,
okay.
On Reverb, the only one that has some decent stuff on there, but funny to pay people to get your stuff. So, different time every year. But I really appreciate you guys. And have a good night.
Thanks again, Kat. Please come back, okay? This was actually...
Good night. I'll have something good to say next time. I felt like I was eavesdropping. My bad.
No way, man.
You're fine.
You're awesome. We appreciate you coming on, seriously. Thanks again.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Casper.
Bye.
Yeah, right here.
How about where we find your books?
Excuse me. If you go to CasperParks.com, you can find the links there. My books are up on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, iTunes. Right now, Ages Past is free as an ebook at all those sites except Amazon. And it's a good tearjerker story, I think. The other books are all 99 cents for ebooks. Paperbacks vary between like 11 and $15. Depends how long the book is.
Right on, man. We definitely check that out. I got your books already down on my, not my Kindle, but my what's that my Kindle. That's right.
Yeah, and Les, thanks for leaving reviews. I appreciate that.
Of course, bro. Absolutely. You could get his books free on iTunes as well, peeps.
That's right. That's cool. Thanks again, Casper, for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks. Have a good one, guys.
Casper.
Take care, Casper.
And again, I just wanted to thank everybody for being here and being part of. Let me see if I can do this again for Les.
Beyond the bullshit.
And we definitely got
to make me laugh every time.
We got to do this again.
We didn't even get to everything we wanted to get to.
Beyond
we had
bullshit.
Exactly.
We need to have a Beyond the Bullshit Volume 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
This was like a great therapy session.
Yeah.
But also, just real quick, though, something for everybody to keep in mind. As the fringe community, it is our right and duty to be skeptical and to ask for proof. There's nothing wrong with asking for proof. But also, when we make our claims, we're the ones that are burdened with providing the proof. That's something that I keep in mind. And don't be angry or frustrated or anything like that with somebody who asks for proof. Just keep in mind that all the bullshit that we deal with every day, we want proof before we back something, because we don't want to be the next victim of a Roswell slide or an alien autopsy or a Rick Dyer with a bogus or with a bogus Bigfoot. So just keep that in mind and don't get offended. If the person is attacking you and being like an asshole debunker, then that's different. But somebody who's thank you. But just keep that in mind. That's all.
Someone that's asking for proof doesn't mean they're a debunker.
Right. No, it's. I think it is great to ask questions. Go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say that I think somebody asking for legitimate proof does not in any way compromise my integrity. Debunkers have a tendency to attack a person, not a person's claims, and that's really the difference, because somebody who's genuinely truth-seeking and genuinely investigating is only asking you for proof. They're asking for evidence. They're asking for something solid. But somebody who's debunking is just douchebagging it. So yeah. So I think as an experiencer that I don't feel that my integrity is in any way compromised when somebody asks me for some kind of proof to legitimize my claims.
Right on.
I don't feel insulted by that, because I have an inquisitive and an intelligent mind, and I want proof for the things I'm curious of as well.
Yeah,
So,
I think we can all agree on that, and definitely, like I said at the beginning of the show, we can all do our research, and we can be skeptical, ask questions, and definitely figure out what's really out there. Hey, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. I appreciate it. Les, my brother, thank you. Rick, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Adam, Barrett, Casper, Kat, Allison, appreciate everyone being a part of the panel tonight. And everyone in Spreaker and Twitter, thank you again, and YouTube. We appreciate you listening. And I just want to say again, thanks to lesser co-hosts. Also like to thank Alan Hall and Melody Luth for our bumper music, Brian Anderson and Gunny Jean Vitale for their wonderful voices. You can hear more of Brian at brianandersonvoice.com. Thank you, Dennis. We appreciate you very much. And we will be sending out the announcement for next week's show. Right now it's unannounced, but we will definitely get it out there. Until then, have a good night. Be safe, be happy, but most of all, be strange. Hasta.